Hello, my name is Omar Farhan from Middlesex University, and I will be presenting my project, VenaLume. Here is a brief look at the agenda. I will walk through the clinical problem, the system architecture, and the hardware and software implementations. I will then show a live demonstration of the device before wrapping up with future developments and my conclusion. Peripheral intravenous cannulation, or PIVC, is the process of inserting a catheter into a vein to establish a direct line for fluids or medication. While it is the most common medical procedure in the world, it relies entirely on the nurse's or doctor's feel. For patients with difficult intravenous access, which is the lack of a visible vein, it causes the nurse or doctor to go with a trial and error approach to insert the cannula or IV line. VenaLume aims to revolutionize the treatment pipeline for the PIVC procedure by providing a low-cost, dual-phase diagnostic and vein visualization system. To understand the scale of DIVA, the standard PIVC procedure has an 86% success rate, but this plummets to 33% for patients with DIVA. Financially, failed attempts can cause life-threatening complications, costing hospitals up to $56,000 per case and around $2 billion annually. There is also a massive innovation gap. Commercial devices to aid the PIVC procedure are too expensive, while current academic prototypes suffer from severe performance issues. Looking at the current landscape, commercial solutions offer real-time processing but cost thousands of dollars and use proprietary hardware. Academic prototypes reduce costs by using inexpensive microcontrollers or laptops, but most suffer from unacceptably low frame rates or only work on still images. VenaLume balances this by keeping costs relatively low while achieving decent frame rates, and it is the only solution that offers a pre-assessment diagnosis for DIVA. To develop VenaLume, I established strict functional requirements. Develop an accurate machine learning model that can predict DIVA scores. Develop a device that can highlight veins in real time. And provide a way to measure the patient's temperature while the device is in use. As for the non-functional requirements, I needed the device to outperform the academic prototypes, be reliable, and also be very easy to use. This use case architecture divides the VenaLume system into two workflows. On the bottom, the medical professional uses the clinical workstation to input patient data and generate the DIVA risk assessment for their patient. On top, they use the physical vein finder device for high-risk patients, where the Raspberry Pi provides the full functionality of the device. For the physical assembly, I selected components that were low cost and easy to find. I designed the circuit to power these safely and built a cardboard prototype to hold the components together before finally creating the 3D model as seen on the right. For the risk assessment system, here is a compressed overview of the machine learning pipeline. The pipeline started by creating a synthetic DIVA dataset, which was thoroughly cleaned and pre-processed. The CatBoost classifier was selected as the predictive model because it outperformed all the other models that were trained. This model was then used as the main brain behind the VenaLume DIVA risk assessment system. For the vein visualizer, here is a compressed overview of the computer vision pipeline. The pipeline starts with capturing a live video feed using the IR ring and the no IR camera. This combination allows the veins to be visible on the video. This video is then pre-processed before an optimized computer vision pipeline highlights the veins in real time. These vein highlights are then overlaid on top of the video to aid with the PIVC procedure. To validate the system, I executed multiple test scenarios focusing on reliability, latency, and diagnostic accuracy. The machine learning model performed exceptionally well, achieving an accuracy of 90%. For the vein visualizer, the basic scan exceeded expectations at 18 fps, while the heavier advanced scan averaged 9 fps. The hardware itself was thoroughly tested, proving its functionality and reliability during continuous operation. Let's see a short demonstration video showing the workflow of the VenaLume project. The VenaLume workflow begins before the physical procedure with the predictive risk assessment system. The clinician can input patient demographics, clinical state, and medical history. The CatBoost machine learning model then processes the patient data and instantly outputs a DIVA risk score along with the risk bracket. Here, it predicts a risk score of 8 out of 10, meaning the patient falls in the high risk category. This pre-assessment for patients is crucial to help the nurse prepare the appropriate equipment for the PIVC procedure. For high-risk patients, the VenaLume vein visualizer can be deployed. The easy-to-use user interface has two buttons which allows the medical professional to switch between the advanced scan mode and the basic scan mode. The advanced scan uses a custom computer vision pipeline to detect and highlight veins directly onto the patient's limb. Notice how it adapts in real time as the device is moved, clearly outlining the veins. Holding the device steady over the cannulation area demonstrates the precision of the vein extraction algorithm. Finally, there is also the option for a basic scan. This mode drastically improves the frame rate by skipping the vein extraction algorithm and performing simple pre-processing to make the veins easier to see. Both scanning modes have a visual indicator of the patient's temperature and frame rate for extra information during the PIVC procedure. And this is what the practical implementation on a possible patient would look like. While VenaLume successfully met its objectives, there is room for innovation. On the hardware side, replacing the screen with a higher speed display can provide a seamless experience for the medical professional using the device. Adding a multi-wavelength IR ring should allow the device to work better for people with different physiological features. On the software side, implementing federated learning, a decentralized machine learning approach which uses only local data, will allow the model to be trained on real-world patient data while guaranteeing patient confidentiality. This approach will also pave the way for direct integration of the VenaLume risk assessment system with hospital health record systems. To conclude, VenaLume successfully achieved its primary goal of revolutionizing the PIVC procedure pipeline to reduce failure rates. This was accomplished by developing a dual-phase solution, a DIVA risk assessment system, along with an affordable vein finder. However, some limitations remain. On the hardware side, upgrading the microcontroller would allow the computer vision algorithms to run faster. Additionally, the computer vision pipeline is sensitive to uneven lighting. The single wavelength IR ring restricts vein visibility for patients with different physiological features, and the machine learning model was trained on synthetic data, so it lacks real-world validation. Ultimately, despite these hurdles, VenaLume establishes a strong foundation to advance the healthcare treatment pipeline for PIVC. Here are the references used in this presentation. Thank you for your time and attention.